With my throat last night. It's been kind of getting swollen. I got some swollen lymph nodes, so I have no idea what the fuck I caught, but it's kind of kicking my ass. But hey, you know what? I want to continue with the uploads and still be there for you guys. Okay, so I went a couple days without the internet, and it was a very interesting thing. I did my best to not use any kind of resources online, things like social media on my phone, things like that. I basically logged out of Facebook for about 3 days. The only social media I was really logged onto was probably like Snapchat or IG, and I don't really use Snapchat at all, not much. I got a few notifications on IG, but I did my best to just kind of whip through them and not check them. What I realized was that one thing with my phone is that I was always constantly checking it. I was always constantly looking to see if anything was popping up, even when I didn't feel that vibration on my leg or anything. Like if the phone was in my pocket, if I didn't hear it or feel it, if I was near it, I was always checking it. And so those can be some really bad tendencies from what I noticed, and you can actually tell more or less if you are really addicted to your phone or not. And one of the good habits I did develop when I wanted to spend less time on just trying to get through my goals and just starting my day the right way is I'd try to make sure that I didn't check my phone for like the first 2 hours, and I would meditate. And really my first goal in the morning every day is always to just kind of sit down for at least 10 minutes and meditate, focus on the breath, and have that guided meditation play while I'm listening and just trying to get a good visualization. Well, it was an interesting challenge for me just because I just realized like how much our minds really want to be active. And so to me, that translates that when we're on social media all the time, or when we're constantly checking these phones or playing with these games and these apps, we're really reducing the lack of creativity that we have the potential for. And so what I think is very interesting is that the less time we spend on these phones, the more time we allow ourselves, and the less time we spend on the internet. I won't banter that, especially with like YouTube videos, kind of going down that rabbit hole. Whatever kind of a website you're looking at, essentially. You open up your mind to be more creative in like either writing a book or just writing in general. I even really just tried to cancel out the noise, so I wasn't even really trying to listen to any kind of music or anything. It was very hard at the gym. I just wanted to have my headphones in and I wanted to listen to something while I just did my workout. But I ended up listening to music and some podcasts anyway. So I did that, and I noticed that I was just more focused in my workouts. That was the second thing I noticed, was that I was just more focused on getting tasks done. The third thing is that I was less distracted. I was able to pick up just my random books that I was reading. This was just like in a period of almost 2 days, guys, roughly. And I was just able to pick up my books and read them, just actually get through a couple pages. And that to me is sparking creativity. That's really actively engaging in the mind in the present moment and really slowing things down and not being so, I'm trying to think of the term for the brain, but you're not activating your prefrontal cortex, I want to say. So I could be wrong on that. But to me, that's just kind of what I figured out. And so really the benefit of it was that this is the other thing too. Socially, I feel like it ruins us because there's not a day that goes by when I go out or if I'm hanging out with friends and God, we're using our phones for everything, whether we're trying to take videos on our social media apps, or we're trying to take pictures and post them up on our profiles and everything. And they get so locked in, and I notice that people are more distracted. I mean, some people are skilled where they can still stay engaged, with the multitasking. They're still engaged, yet they can still take pictures and update their profiles and stuff. But I mean, even when I've had a few moments where I've been out like to dinner or out, just going out to the bars, and I've seen people just when they're all sitting around just hanging out, like they'll have a conversation, but then they'll have to immediately look down and check their notifications or check their phones, and they're just on there. They're fully engaged. in that, but it takes away from the conversation, you know? And so, I don't know, like one of the things I try to do is I actually try to stay off of my phone. Now, if I want to get like a picture or two, I won't load it up until maybe a day or two later, you know, or if I'm trying to get a video, I won't load it up for like maybe a couple days if I don't want to load up a video, you know, and throw it on my social media. So that, guys, I wanted to try and keep this video short, but those were some of the things I learned. It was an interesting experiment. It was very fucking hard. I mean, I was just so surprised at how much I was actually that I actually use my phone on a daily basis for whether I'm learning something new or if I'm trying to keep track of, you know, macros and such. And it was just very interesting. So, I mean, granted, I didn't really go a full 2 days. You know, eventually I caved and I might have watched some Netflix or some Hulu just to wind down for the day or to wind down for the night, you know. It was just very interesting. So I'm glad that I did the experiment, though, because what I've noticed is that these devices really distract us from being connected and getting connected with one another, especially with like your family and friends. You know, they're just kind of an object in the way of that. And so what I actually try to do is that when I'm spending time with my family or if I'm spending time with my friends, I actually try to not look at my phone. I try to like just kind of be engaged in the moment and just to have fun, you know. I mean, I'm also guilty of it too. I mean, I've posted videos on Snapchat and on my Facebook and Instagram of just me hanging out with my friends and pictures and stuff, you know. But I try to, I feel like I've gotten a little bit better about it though too, just putting the phone away and just having a good time, having a good conversation. That way I don't have to stop real quick in the middle of a conversation and check, you know, what my friends are doing. So anyways, give it a shot, guys. Really try to connect with yourself. And if anything, it will make you more self-aware about what your tendencies are and what your habits are. And I mean, I'm self-aware enough on that note that I can actually go a couple hours in the morning without actually checking any social media or checking any of my notifications or anything, and just starting my day right with some meditation, reading, and just breath work, you know, and then I can go and hit the gym and do my thing. And then I'm solid for the rest of the day. I feel great. So anyways, you guys give it a shot, try it out. I highly encourage you guys to just take breaks from the internet. I think that would actually help us in a lot of ways, and I think that could actually make our world a little bit better. So with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.